On this edition of Carolina Insider, one University of South Carolina student is pushing the limits for more handicapped accessibility. Plus, we'll show you the familiar spot downtown that's got a fresh coat of paint. And 5 Point's most infamous bar is getting a second chance. Carolina Insider starts now. Hello, and welcome to this edition of Carolina Insider. I'm Christine Takash. Our top story today, they say being a Gamecock has no limits, but is that true for physical limits? Although the University of South Carolina follows legal requirements for accessibility, as Vania Ibanez reports, one student is pushing for the school to do more.
You want me to twirl for you?
This is Davis Heyman, a Spartanburg native studying international business and finance with a French minor at USC. He started life a little earlier than others.
My mother had HELLP syndrome, which is a type of preeclampsia when she was pregnant, which means like high blood pressure when she was pregnant caused her to go into premature labor.
Heyman was born 3 months premature and was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, leaving him with a hidden speech impediment and a seat in a wheelchair. As a capstone scholar, Heyman was placed in Columbia Hall next door because he was told it was more accessible than the capstone house.
The fact that they had the bars to support your weight in the shower is technically enough, but like, what if I was wheelchair bound? What if I couldn't get up from my wheelchair?
It's enough to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. In 2008, the ADA was amended, and one part added was Title III, Public Accommodations. It states that public accommodations must follow certain requirements related to architectural standards for new and current buildings. Director of the Student Disability Resource Center, Karen Pettis, says that the university complies with the ADA, but the university has no specific accessibility guidelines to follow.
For some of the buildings, you have to make sure that the ramp meets certain codes, not just safety codes, but maybe a historical look to the building.
Older buildings like Currell College don't have an elevator or a ramp, so why not add one?
I can tell you one ramp we built on campus, it was $150,000.
For now, it's a part of working towards accessibility for all.
This is a long-term problem that needs to be fixed.
For Carolina News, I'm Vania Ibanez.
Schools in a neighboring state are also battling with the ADA. Advocacy groups and parents of disabled students are suing Georgia schools for not complying with the ADA. The act states that all students must receive equal education, but the Georgia Advocacy Office says the students were separated into a program that doesn't give them proper education. The Georgia Department of Education has not commented on the lawsuit. From a renovation to a makeover, a bar in 5 Points will be unveiled with a new name. According to the state newspaper, new owner Adam Ruonala bought the Poorhouse in September. The marketing director for the Palmetto State Armory plans to rename it to 5 Points Roost. Poorhouse closed in May after the former owner was accused of choking a USC student. Poorhouse had other incidents as well, including underage drinking and aggravated assaults. Ruonala also purchased the attic, which he renamed Rooftop. 5 Points Roost should be opened on Hardin and Green Streets next week. Also new in 5 Points is a new backdrop for all the selfie lovers. On the corner of Saluda and Hardin, a giant postcard is painted on the wall of the Pucknell Music Company. Artist Chad Brady says the mural is supposed to be a representation of 5 Points today. There are a few familiar landmarks in the painting, all aimed at local residents and students. But one person that stands out in the mural is Drink Small, a famous blues musician from Columbia. So far, the artwork has received positive reviews.
The mural, we haven't heard any negative feedback. I personally love it. I love how much attention it's brought to the neighborhood, and I think it's really inclusive.
The 5 Points Association says they're ready to start the next renovation after the success of Brady's mural. This week, homecoming is drawing to a close, but USC is still celebrating. In this weekend's Carolina calendar, our Christian Schneider has more on the last homecoming events.
That's right, Christine. Homecoming week is wrapping up soon, but festivities are still happening tonight and tomorrow. 21 Savage is this year's Cockstock headliner. Doors open at Colonial Life Arena at 7:30, and the pre-show starts at 8:30 with the men's and women's basketball teams. 21 Savage is set to perform around 9:30. And tomorrow, Gamecock football will be back in Williams-Brice Stadium after 3 weeks. The Gamecocks will be taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores. Kickoff is scheduled for 4 p.m. Back to you, Christine.
We hope you've had a great homecoming week. Thanks for watching this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. See you back here on Wednesday.